Congressman Mike Waltz's contest was never really in doubt, earning a reelection bid that happened last night. He's joining us live to talk about it this morning on WNDB. Congratulations, Congressman, and welcome back. Good to have you with us, sir.
Well, hey, thanks so much, Mark, and just humbling, and it's an honor for this district to trust me and have me represent them again for another 2 years.
I want to ask, what will be job one for you with this next Congress? I know we're still not able to take advantage of the majority, but what do you look to try to get done? You worked across the aisle with Stephanie Murphy. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I think job one in the very immediate term is to get our businesses, our small businesses that are struggling still, and fight for them to have another round of access to the Paycheck Protection Program. I want people staying on business rolls, and if we're going to put federal stimulus monies out, I want them going through businesses to keep them on business rolls rather than unemployment rolls. I think with us upwards, all of the D.C. and New York prognosticators were talking about a blue wave in the House and the Senate. We didn't see that at all. Instead, we saw a red wave. I think we're going to flip around 10 to 11 seats and really put Pelosi in a position that she cannot take this all or nothing, my way or the highway approach. So I think that's job one, Mark. But I also want to say very quickly, look, everything that we do is a team effort with our state and local officials. So, Webster Barnaby had a big night. Senator Travis Hudson had a good night. Tom Leek got reelected. Florida really did launch the red wave yesterday. That's sweeping across the country, despite all of the mainstream media, pontificating otherwise.
Okay, we're going to be talking with the new County Council Chairman, Jeff Brower. I don't want to hit this one too hard, but you backed Deb Denny's. There's a lot of speculation today that last moment mailer that went out that actually was addressed to Democrats and Libertarians probably hurt her substantially as she threw the president under the bus. Do you have a comment? Because I know you were supporting Ms. Denny's.
Yeah, it's right. So I endorsed Ms. Denny's. I thought she had we had worked well together on a number of issues. I thought she had the experience to continue to lead. The people of Volusia have spoken, and I look forward to working with Jeff Brower, who I think is a fantastic perspective and a fantastic family. At the end of the day, in terms of campaign tactics, Mark, we don't approve those. I didn't like it. I think at the end of the day, so many folks had already voted by the time those mailers went out that it obviously didn't have much of a difference. But we have to govern. We owe it to our constituents to govern and work together. Politics gets messy, and then we come together and get results for the people we represent.
Turning to the presidential race, when I finally turned the light out last night, I still felt good for the president because he was so far ahead in Pennsylvania, which now it's coming down to Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, a few other states. What's your gut telling you? Can the president pull this out?
He can, Mark, but it's going to be messy, I think, in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. And I think, frankly, it's irresponsible on a number of levels for those state officials, for Democratic leaders to have insisted on voting by mail, to have blasted ballots around like junk mail in states like Pennsylvania that don't have the infrastructure, the volunteers, the mechanisms in place to really handle the influx. And they don't even begin opening the ballots. Unlike Florida, who counts as they come in, they don't even begin opening anything until Election Day. And then their activist court has stepped in and said, well, if the signatures don't match, no big deal. If you can't read the date, stand from the outside of the envelope, then we'll just default and let it go through. Just leaving the country in limbo like this is, I think, again, is irresponsible. But we have to work through the system. Everybody needs to stay calm. The president has a fantastic legal team that is deploying and getting on top of this. And I think at the end of the day, he can pull out Michigan and Pennsylvania.
a lot of Republicans voted at the last moment. I've still tried to figure out. Maybe you can educate me, Congressman. We've both been doing this a while. Why is it Republicans vote at the last minute? Do you know?
Yeah, well, I think one, the get out the vote effort was really focused on election day voting and in-person voting. Number two, the Democrats they shut down their ground game, and I think that was a huge mistake. I'm a huge believer in door knocking and canvassing and grassroots. Get out the vote. And then the other thing they underestimated, particularly in Florida, was our registration drive and how many people we registered. And then finally, Biden's just not inspiring. He really didn't have a vision except to beat up on the president and his personality. And that doesn't inspire people on their side. And socialism certainly doesn't inspire Cuban Americans, Venezuelan Americans, and Nicaraguan Americans. So to flip those two House seats in South Florida was fantastic. I'd worked hard to help that happen. And I think we're gonna see Florida stay red.
And based on one last question on this, based on how they're counting, you think we're going to hear Michigan's final numbers today? I have a sense that we'll know by late this afternoon how Michigan turns out for the president.
I think I feel better about Michigan coming out cleanly and coming out for the president than I do Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin may go to a recount, and Pennsylvania, for reasons I just tried to explain, is I think is going to be messy, unfortunately.
I want to congratulate you again, Congressman. Thank you for all the good work that you've done with your office and your superior staff for the listeners of WNDB. I look forward to working with you for the next couple of years, and thanks for appearing with us this morning on WNDB.
Oh, thanks, Mark. And again, it's a team effort. Jeff Brower, Tom Leake, Webster Barnaby, the whole team. And I look forward to working with everyone and continue delivering results.
Good for you. All right, have yourself a great day. We'll visit soon.
Okay, thanks, Mark.